Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, welcome back. Welcome to Cloud and DevOps Batch 58. So before I start the session, I just want to give a quick recap on what's being covered in the previous session. Previous session, we discussed about okay, the strategies. Okay, so we do not want to do any sort of deployments manually. And for that, we created an Argo C, I mean, we created a Go CD, and then we have installed Go CD on the top of a T3 dot small instance. I clearly mentioned minimum 30 GB. And also I have clearly mentioned in case if you are facing any sort of challenge. Okay, so I also mentioned you would get a error saying this. Okay, in case if you see an error saying, okay, in case if you see an error saying, mm, I think I published it yesterday. So if you see that you are experiencing storage issue. So how to mitigate that is also something we have discussed yesterday. Okay. So anything else, anyone apart from that? Any questions? Questions? And also these are the things that I have mentioned. And if you look at this, in case if you see, hey, Go CD database is running low disk on space. And if you say this, okay, the reason is possibly because we have given less disk space. Yesterday, we also discussed the concept of disk versus partition. Through the concept of partition, we can tell this particular portion of the disk can only occupy this much amount. This way, if you're running more than one or two applications, and if you're just having a single disk, you can let this portion, this partition can be used only by application A, and this partition of the disk can only be used by the partition B. Like that also you can do. This is what we have discussed. So let me try to connect to the instances and then get started. Okay. So Vikram, I could see your hand raised. Would you like to speak? Vikram, over to you, Vikram.
Uh, yes, Manoj. It's a general question. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are. Go ahead. Don't be hesitant. Feel
Uh,
free to ask. Okay.
yeah. We are using GoCD just for the UI, right? Yeah.
No. Go CD is for the purpose of continuous deployments. Okay.
Yeah.
And in
Okay.
our case, we do not want to do the deployments manually. We want a machine. We want a tool to do that. Okay. So that's the reason we are
Oh,
using. And if you go with this deployment tools like CD, when you're dealing with multiple environments, you have a control. Okay. So that means after this
okay.
deployment, see if you directly attempt to deploy into stage environment, says pause. You cannot do that because QA is a failure. So this is the native behavior in the deployment tools, which is not the case in the continuous integration tools like Jenkins. Okay. So we
Okay.
are choosing a right tool for
Jenkins,
the
we
right
can use it.
purpose. Go ahead.
Sorry, Jenkins also we can use it as a CD as well, right?
You can, but you won't get these features that I'm talking natively.
Okay.
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 So you still have an option. Again, you can do anything on Jenkins, but you are responsible for dealing all these conditional things, right? But here it comes by
Yes.
native. Okay. Agree?
Okay.
And
Okay.
you
Yeah.
cannot, again, you get a right outcome only if you choose the right tool. Okay. If you want to nail some, mm, I mean, if you want to hit some nails into a wall, you need to use hammer. You cannot use a scissor. So using a right tool gives you the right output. That's what I meant to say. Okay.
Okay, Manoj.
All right. Anything else, anyone? Wanna take a pass? So also I would like to create a couple more servers for MySQL. Uh, Spot. I'll create 4 instances. Modify. I just need 4 instances and proceed with AutoKeeper. Launch them. Okay. Now I'm going to create 3 servers, right? So let me name all of them. Okay. So front end. Okay, so we are dealing with two environments, right? So first, let me try to connect to my workstation as well. Okay. All right. So yeah, so let me try to connect to my GoCD server. Let's start -delphin and 8153. So connect to the server using 8153. Connect to the GoCD. If you wish to run any sort of servers, you can do that. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I will come here and I'm gonna update my SQL dev and my SQL query with the respect to IP addresses. Okay. Here, couple of points. Okay, you need to remember. Okay, so remember these 2 points. So still we are doing. Okay, what's going on? Okay, infra creation is still manual. I'll come back to these points. And DNS record. Okay, remember these 2 points. Now next, now this MySQL dev update the DNS records. Done. Because we created brand new instances, right? Now MySQL-QA. That's all. Now, similarly, we also have front-end-dev, right? So let's try to create the DNS records for them as well. I mean, Vikram, why am I updating the DNS records? Yesterday I have created, right? Why am I updating now? Anyone?
Because IPs are changed.
Why IPs you will be changing? What is the reason?
Uh, because we are not using persistent.
Exactly. Not even the true. Okay, that's not true. Every day we are creating brand new servers. So obviously servers are new means IPs will change, right? Agree?
Yes, yes.
All right. Perfect. Let's get started. So we have the infrastructure. Now, if you wish to now, I wish to run MySQL. Okay. Now all I have to do is just come and say this. Now MySQL will be running. And if you come here and if you look at the history, you can see it has triggered, right? Now you can SSH to the server and see whether it is working or not. SSH to, okay. Okay. All right, let's wait. Now you can see the configuration management will start and you can see build is in building and you can see configuration management is happening, right? Let it happen. Now you need to incline towards certain points. Okay, so first let's try to come here and try to talk few segments. Okay, so if you look at this, what best can we do? Okay, so what best can we do? So always make sure whether we are inclined towards the NFR or not. Okay, NFR is very important. Now, if you look at this, okay, if you look at this, I am running a bash script, right? Vikram, why am I running bash init.sh rather than running the whole command?
We are just referring to a file where all the script, our this one tasks are mentioned.
But why? I can run the command there, right, as an argument. Why am I doing this?
We have to follow the NFR.
Exactly. So code should be clean. Okay. From the beginning, we have kept an NFR, right? What is the NFR? Okay. So 1 second, what's next? There is standards. Okay, sorry. Where did I write that? Okay. Okay. So this is very important. Code should be dry all the time. Secret should not be in place. Okay. What's next? Deployments should be no. What is the other NFR? Code should be dry. Secret should not be hard coded. What are the NFRs that we have defined? Okay. So we wrote a standard operating procedure and we are aligned to that. Okay. So what is NFR? Code should be dry. Okay. Rerun of the code should not fail. Fail. Okay. This is the NFR that we have kept, right? Anything that you do, it should stick. Okay. And standard operating procedure is also something we have written, right? Everyone should follow these standards in the organization. And what is the standard operating procedure? And the standard operating procedure is configuration management should be done by Ansible only. Okay. This is the rule of thumb. Even if it is tough across the project, everyone in the organization should stick to that. It's not like, okay, I know Python, I'll use it. I know Bash, I'll use it. No, people don't encourage. Everyone in the organization should follow that. And second thing, okay, Ansible deployments. Okay, deployment should happen, should be rolled out only by GoCD. Okay, this is the rule of thumb. And third thing, infrastructure creation should be done by Terraform. Okay, so no more manual. This is something we haven't covered. We'll see that. Fourth important thing, okay, secrets should be centrally managed and should be compatible with all other tools. Okay, so it's not like I'll use Ansible that can be used only by Ansible. It's not like, okay, so you need to use something. Okay, in our case, we can either go with HashiCorp Vault. I'm okay with anything. Or AWS Secret Manager. If you use these tools, it can work for anything. Okay, that is the rule of. Now, the next thing, okay, so these things at any point of time, we need to make sure, okay, project standards. Okay, so these are very important. So we'll stick to that and we'll be aligned to that. Okay, now within the deployments, these are the things that we have. The next thing, okay, copy this. Now I also need to have front end dot YML. Okay, for front end also, I do the same thing, but the name of the job is front end. Okay, and it should be under the app deployments and everything should be the same, right? Fetch materials, environment variables, and the component is something I just want to change it. So wherever you have the component, okay, I just want to replace it with front end. That's all. Wherever you see, I just want to replace it with front end. And what else? Bash front end, front end, front end. That's all. Okay. So likewise, I also want to do the same for backend as well. Okay. Now everywhere, wherever you see this, so instead of front end, this is the pipeline name. Now wherever you see, okay, this front end, just want to replace it with backend. That's all. Okay. Now I want to go to GoCD and auto push. Okay. Let's wait. Okay. Now go back to GoCD. And if you come here and if you look at this, perfect. It is qualified. Now, if you wish to see, Vikram, now I want to do the production deployment. Can I do the production deployment now? Can I do that for
No,
MySQL? Why?
we should go stepwise. Like we next to it should be
Are you
QA.
getting the option to do that, by the way?
No,
Can you do that in Jenkins?
yes, we can do that.
No, we cannot. Natively, we cannot do it, right? That's what I want to say. We need to conditionalize it. Agree?
Yes.
So here it is coming by default. Okay. So if you want to make a QA deployment, you come here and try to select this. Now you have selected this, everything is working fine. Now I want to make a deployment to QA. I selected it. So MySQL QA deployment will start. Exit from here and try to do that. Okay, now. Okay, and if you see this, perfect. Sudo systemctl status. And if you see this, it is running. Okay, that's it. Okay, that is what I want to show. Now, it is running. Let it run, and the build is a failure. Why? Okay, bash init.sh, it's a failure. Why? Why? Okay, because if you go to Ansible, int-qa, so MySQL-qa, it is there, right? Then why it's not working? Current job file. Unable to parse, go cd. Line 1, column 5. Okay. Component is equal to this, role is equal to this. Then why it didn't work? int have an QA, MySQL. Okay. First, let me check whether it is working or not. It should work for other environments. Yesterday it worked, now it's not working. Why? Why? Okay, 85.34, right? QA. Yeah, it is there, 85.34. 85.34, then why it is not working? The reason. No inventory was parsed. I don't accept that. Okay, Ansible -i $env $env is equal to QA, which I have supplied. Env QA, okay. Component MySQL, okay. Then why it didn't work? Let me try to rerun it. Rerun failed. Waiting for an agent. It's build in progress. Fine. So let it run. Okay. So waiting for an agent. So agent, once it is available, then it builds. So I don't care at this point of time. Let it run. Okay. Now I also want to focus on the standards. Okay, that is very important. And at the same time, I'll go and I'll try to go to the admin config repositories. I'll do a refresh. And if you do a refresh, you see two more jobs. Okay. And what are the two more jobs? MySQL job, front-end job, and back-end job. Back-end job was a failure. That's fine. Leave it because rest of that aspect should be up. Okay. Now, at this point of time, what I want to do is, so waiting for an agent, building. Okay, build is in progress, and that's the reason it is waiting. One job at a time is happening. Okay, that's fine. Now, what I want to do is, again, front end will be a failure because unless until the completion of backend, it should not work. And why backend is a failure? Let's go and check. Backend is a failure because this PWD, this task includes a variable load schema. The error was PWD. Okay, so inside the load schema of backend, Ansible roles, backend task, load schema. Password needs to be supplied, right? This is another caveat. Okay, password needs to be supplied. So we need to supply the password. So how can we supply the password? So we need to supply it from the command line. Okay, that is another thing, right? So typically, how would we need to supply the password is this is how we are supplying the password. So go to the init script -e. Okay, pwd is equal to, okay, you need to supply the password. Okay, pwd is equal to @1. Okay, so cd to Ansible, the push. Now come here and try to rerun that. It will work. Now try to rerun the failed. Now agent assigned and the job is in progress. But if you look at this, I didn't like one thing. Here the password is plain text. That means anyone can see. And this one is also plain text. This is something I want to handle. I really do not want to hard code the credentials. This is as per my NFR. As per my NFR, I do not want any of the secrets to be hard coded. If there are any secrets that are hard coded, there is a bad strategy, which I really don't want. Okay. So how can we handle that behavior? Okay. How can we handle that? Okay. So are we clear so far? And if you see this, download and extract, let's run. Any questions so far, by the way, guys, team? Questions. Any questions so far? Okay, if I want to integrate this with Active Directory, how can I do that? Okay, so for that, okay, the error is, so this is something, a potential thing which I want. Come back. Go to the backend. Okay, let it run. Okay, so what I want to do, okay, now I do not want the secrets first thing. So how can I get rid of the secrets? Okay, how can I get rid of the secret? So we need to use the secret manager again. I told you in the beginning itself. So we are not going to use a secret manager that works only specific for a tool. Okay, if I use the secret manager, it should work for all the tools. Okay, so for example, if I use Ansible secret manager, it works only for Ansible. Okay, so I would like to use HashiCorp Vault or AWS secret manager that works for all the tools that we deal. Okay, so for now I'm not going to use any HashiCorp. Okay, instead I'll be using GoCD secret manager because we didn't get an opportunity to work with GoCD at this point of time. So I would like to use secret manager for secrets. Okay, okay, the quality gaps. Okay, let me go to the standards. Quality gaps. Using GoCD encrypted secrets. That works only for GoCD. and other tools cannot read or decrypt. Okay, so this is a quality gap. We'll fix this quality gap, fix it with central secret manager. Okay, so we go first to minimum viable product. We are heading towards the minimum viable product, and then we'll proceed accordingly. All right, so my SQL is completed. How about backend? Perfect. Now my backend is completed. Did you see this? Okay. And if you look at this got all the needed details. Okay. If you want to know what was the command that was executed, you can see that as well. Okay. All right, whatever. It worked. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is front end. So let's try to run the front end as well. I think front end is also qualified, right? So front end is qualified. Now I'll come here and I'll see whether it is working or not. I didn't do any deployments. It worked. All right. So, so I don't want to do anything manually. This is what I wish to do. I just added an expense. You can add the expense. So the project is working fine. Okay, when I do any changes, automatically things should happen. Okay, so the next thing is secret management. So I do not want to supply any sort of secrets in this fashion, which is a very bad to the organization. So I don't want that. Okay, so what I want to do is I just want to go with the secret manager. So, so what I want to do is go cd encrypt string. Let's see. Generated the encrypted secure variable from GoCD UI. Or just go with GoCD YAML plugin. Okay, this guy Tom Joe. A plugin to declare GoCD pipelines and environments configuration in YAML. Okay, so Tom Joe is the repository. Okay, he's the guy. I mean, he's the contributor, major contributor behind this, and he works with ThoughtWorks. Okay, so since we are using this, we'll use this. All right. Now here I'm interested about secure or password. Okay, if you look at this, how they are supplying the passwords. If you're using environment, you use environment. But if you want to supply secure variables, this is how you are supplying the secure variable. But how can I create encryption? How can I do the encryption? Encryption. So supports format version value of file. So encrypted password. So you need to use this. But how can I generate an encrypt? How can I generate? So for sure, you need to use secure variables like this, but how to use it is the second thing. Okay. So for that, so we are going to use this, right? Mm. Hmm. So instead of environment variables, we are going to use this. What is the value? That's the second thing. Okay. Now we know this is a parent, this is a kid. So all of them should be like that. Okay. So for that, so you can also use SSH password. On MySQL. Okay. So we need to supply them in an encrypted so that though you encrypt it, okay, it will not be blinded, so no one can see that. Okay, that is the main thing that I want to start with. Okay, so come here. Let's start with dev. Okay, perfect. So how to generate that? Encrypted password. Okay. To generate an encrypted Okay, so how to generate an encrypted value. So let's try to add that. There is Go CD. Okay. So this is the standard that we need to follow. Okay. So what they are saying, okay, see the encryption API. Okay. So as per them, what they are saying is you need to hit this API. Okay, API is nothing but application programming interface. If you want to access any applications data, they don't expose the data directly. They create an API. Through that, they control how people can access the data, what they can access the data, how much fast they can access it. That is also called as the rate limiting. So what they are saying is you need to hit this API. So let's try to do that. So this is like if you are having multi-line input, so you can just get that like this. So we'll generate an done. Don't ask me what each and everything does. Okay. So we are just following the documentation. We'll align to that. Okay. I'm just writing in a single code. Okay. So that it will be easy for all of us. Okay. So no fancy, but again, whenever you want to use any version, ensure which version of Go you are using. Okay. So it is available only on version 17.1.0. But if you look at this, which version we are using, so we are using version 23.50. So it's totally safe and fine. So how to generate an encrypted value? So what they are saying is first connect to your API. Okay. So in our case, our this is our API. This is a syntax, right? Is actual. So in my case, what is Argo CD API? Okay. So again, one more thing, if you generate a secret on one Argo CD, that cannot be used in other Argo CD. Okay. That is another thing. That is quite obvious, right? You cannot use Gmail password with Yahoo. Okay. So admin. Uh, 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 uh. So the first value is DevOps 321. So you need to hit this, that generates a string for you. Okay. Uh, Again, I told you in the beginning, right? Sticking to the NFR is going to take time. Okay, it says connection to this failed. Oh, okay, 443, right? We are not using 443. Since we are not using HTTPS at this point of time, go with HTTP. Okay, that's enough. And since we are using HTTP, our application is working on 8153, right? So 8153. So stick to that. Okay. So 8. Why? 8153. Okay. 8153. Connection refused. Why? Eighty-one 53. Okay. Okay. It says basic authentication credentials are not required since security has been disabled on this server. Okay. But I should get a response, right? Okay. I'm not using any username and password, right? So just get rid of it. Okay. Okay. Learn by your mistakes. Okay. Perfect. So this is the encrypted value that you are supposed to use. So this is for the DevOps 321, right? So copy this and put it here. Okay. Go to the MySQL. So here, that's all. Okay. This is your SSH password, and MySQL password is also something I want, right? So MySQL password expense app at the rate one. So this is the expense app credentials. So now, even if anyone sees, I don't care because no one understands this. Okay. So I'm gonna copy paste this across the board. Then no, this is SSH password, right? Okay, SSH underscore PSW and this one. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'll take this, okay, and I'll go to the Ansible and I'll tell this SSH underscore PSW. Rather than okay, in it. So here, $off. Done. Instead of password, $off MySQL PSW. That's all. Okay, this way, see, if you are hard coding this, it is also going to show you in the logs. That means anyone who is troubleshooting can see it, which is a very bad thing in the organization, right? Okay, so this is the standard that I am following. Okay, so it's also PSW. All right. Okay, clear? Any questions so far? Any questions? Questions? So guys, we are sticking to the NFR. Okay, so it takes time. That's fine. Okay, NFR. Okay, that's going to generate the credentials. That's okay. Keep in mind, secrets encrypted. That's all done. Okay, so yeah, so publish the code. That's all. Now I would like to rerun my MySQL job one more time. And if you see this, I have published the code. See, remember this. I published the code, automatically triggered. Okay. So this is the commit, right? Now you go to the MySQL, okay, repository. Okay. There are some changes, right? Go to the pipelines. There are some changes. If you notice this history, okay. And if you look at this is the commit, right? And if you look at this, it is also doing the same. Okay, which is nothing but not this one. Go with Ansible. If there are changes in the Ansible repository, it's going to pick. Okay, come here in Ansible, you made some changes, right? Okay, you made some changes, it's going to pick automatically. Okay, clear? Clear or not? So yeah, and you can see none of the places things are going to be exposed. Okay, if you want to take a sneak peek, none of the places secrets are going to be exposed. Okay, that is the main thing I want to do. Are we clear or not so far? Okay, so let's try to update the same for others as well. Okay. Just making sure we are doing things sticking to the standard. Okay. Now, again, we are doing the same thing multiple times, right? I'm sorry, I was speaking on mute. Now let's see. Guys, when I was not audible, how long I was not audible? How long I was not audible? Anyone?
Manoj, for about 1 minute, one
Okay,
or
all right.
2 minutes.
That's all right. You didn't miss anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So it will push. I think it picked up. Um, you don't see the secrets anywhere. Okay. And if you wish to see whether secrets are really coming up or not, okay, typically you can run the command called as env. That is going to show you the list of all the all the environment variables in the current environment, right? So environment variables, you can also check that. But if you want to see that, okay, we can run that. Okay, it's qualified. Wonderful. Now what I'm going to do is I'll show you that nothing is going to leak. Okay, so bash init.sh. Mm, and env. Okay, so env stands for environment. That's going to show you the list of changes. Okay, I mean list of environment variables. Now I'm trying to rerun my backend one more time, build it. I think it's running. And again, if you wish to run anything, okay, if any of the jobs are having parameters, you can also supply it from here. Okay, trigger with pipe parameters. So that's the thing. So let's wait for it. I would like to show you that env is not okay. This is not a right thing. Okay, then how can I do that? Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay, why am I struggling? Okay, I can simply add it in the script, right? Go to Ansible, init.sh, echo printing environment variables. Yeah. Come here and try to rerun it one more time. In the history, you can see it's in the progress. Now it's assigned. Let it run. Okay. So I just want to show you that it's not really exposing any sort of secrets, nothing much. Okay. That's all I just want to show. Any questions, anyone? Okay. This is how we generate the secrets. Okay. Also, let's identify the areas of improvement. Okay. So everywhere environment variable, I'm writing it multiple times, right? Why do I need to do that those many times, right? I don't have to, right? So what we can do is you can also declare the environment variables here as well. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is SSH password is same for everything. So I'm gonna come, I'm gonna mention it here. Okay. So materials, secure variables, SSH password is common, right? Environment variables. This is also okay, because I really don't, if you declare it something here, it is common for all the tasks, just like your Ansible. Okay. So come here, copy this. This is the MySQL. This is for the front end. And this is for the back end. Okay. Since you mentioned this, you don't have to declare it here. And you also don't have to declare the SSH password here. SSH password is needed. Component is also not needed. Now, don't you think you're experiencing a pain of if you're doing some changes, you're dealing it multiple times? Anyone realized this? Guys, anyone realized this pain? Anyone? I want to make some changes. I'm doing it all the way, everywhere I'm doing. Why the hell do I need to do that? That's the first point. Why do I need to do these many places? Okay. This is the first problem statement I would like to talk. Okay. Any questions so far? I want to hear back from you first. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Okay. Now I declare it at, okay, this is called as a pipeline level variables. Okay. SSH password is not needed. Component name is also not needed. That's all. So go auto optimizing. That's all. Okay. So the next thing is, okay, so if you look at this, okay, what best can we do? Anyone else? What best can I still do? Don't you think there are a lot of common patterns that are there everywhere? Apart from this, everywhere the pattern is same, right? Don't you think I can create a template and use it just like how I may have used Ansible templates, I mean, common parts and import it? Don't you think we can do that? Anyone? Guys, anyone? Are we clear so far?
Yeah, yeah, we can do that, Manu.
Okay. So why do I need to do that, by the way?
Uh, to do
I mean, my job is done. I mean, my job is done. But still, what else can I do? Don't you think it is overwhelming if you have 10 jobs? Do you write to write 10 times? I just need to change a value. I did it 10 times. Why the hell do I need to do that? Right?
yeah, we can make it centralized.
Exactly. So that's where we can do something called as Go CD templating. Okay. Go CD templating YAML. Tom Joe. What is this guy saying? Just go with the documentation. Okay. What they're saying is to create a template. You come here, build and run test. Okay. So there is an option called as a templates, it seems. Okay. And I want to create a template. And I just want to name it as Ansible deployments. And can I extract it any existing pipeline? Okay. Why sample is only showing? Why other pipelines are not showing up? Hmm. For this to create a template, why? Okay, maybe this option is only for the jobs that are created on the UI. Since my jobs are created by code, it is not accepting. Hmm. So maybe what I'll do is I'll first go ahead and create a template job first, okay? So
Manoj, one thing. Hello.
yes, go ahead.
In frontend.yaml file, I think you have deleted MySQL password in QA and other environment.
Okay. I know SSH password is there, right?
No, that is pipeline variable you have added now.
I'm not clear with what you're saying. Can you elaborate that more?
Now everywhere we have deleted SSH password and we kept only MySQL password. Right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But in frontend.yaml file, it is not like that.
Oh, it is not needed. Yeah, that's really not needed. But if you look at this init.sh, it is common for everything, right? If you don't supply the variable, it fails. That's the reason I deliberately given. You're right. Front end really don't need. But the reason why I supplied was because it expects something. That's the reason I'm supplying. Okay. Clear. That's a very good point, by the way. Okay. You got what I meant, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'll create a deployments. Okay. Templates. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'll just copy everything and I'll put it here. The name I'll name it as group as app deployments, and this is as app deployment template. Done. And the rest of these things we can keep as is. But this one I'm not going to keep. Okay, because this should be the common, right? And a group, I'll create something called as a templates. Okay, it's fine. Let me try to push it. Okay, I don't know whether it works or not, but for now, let me try to. Okay, all we are doing is adding some bells and whistles. Okay, now I push the code. Technically, job is done, but achieving NFR. So an update. Technically, template is also a job. Okay, template is also a job. Come here and run it. Fail to trigger the pipeline. App deployment stage. It's in progress. Okay. Does it template job has to run? Now this template is also a job, but again, really not a job. That's as per the design. So consciously we don't run. Okay. but I don't want to run this completely. So what I want to do is, okay, I really don't, I just want to run bash init.sh, but shouldn't be running it for the template. So what I'll do is I'll simply come here and just say, if just say, if dollar pipeline, if dollar pipe, then exit. Okay, simply just for the heck of it. Okay, so this I'll supply the value in the command line. Okay, so that for pipeline jobs, I just want to run it, but I do not want to invoke this script for template jobs because template job is just dummy for me. Okay, this pipeline, it Ansible, the template. Again, we are not doing any rocket science, so it's pretty straightforward. Okay, all right. Okay, now your pipeline will run, but it's not really going to do anything. Okay, so rerun it. So template job. See, this is how you can segregate. That's what I told you, right? Application jobs are in one tab, template jobs are in one tab. You can come here and see that. And this time it runs, but it just says bash init.sh. Okay, but it's not going to complete because I'm forcefully exiting. Okay, now I'll go and see whether I can create the job or not. Okay, let's wait for all the 4 stages. Oh, it's completed. Wonderful. Okay, because it just says bash ls, that's all. Okay. Okay, so for other job, run, let it run for all the 4 stages. I don't know whether this works or not, but I'm just giving a try. Okay. In the previous batch, we have not achieved the try. Okay. Because only this batch I have introduced Go CD because in the current market, okay, they are asking CD tools more. That's the reason I have added this. If not, in the previous batch also I have not covered. Okay. So yeah. But again, I'm using Go CD. I have used it a lot of customers. But in training, we are the first. Okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. All right, let's get. But again, any tool, guys, it's very simple. Just to go with the documentation. That's all. Okay, it's just an ls command, by the way. It's not really going to run anything. It's waiting for an agent. Okay, that's fine. Maybe if I go, uh, if I try to create a template, uh, okay, still it is not showing. I don't understand. Extract from the pipeline. Still it is not working. Let it run, okay? Let it run. Yeah. Can someone please confirm me? Am I audible? Mahendra?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So, but in our case, why we are not able to create the template by code? That is a big question. Okay, now since it is completed, let me try to create a template. Ansible-app. Still, it is not showing. Okay. So from the code, we are not able to create, but see from the UI, can I create a template? Again, I don't want to go through XML. So viewing the pipeline templates can now be viewed by administration. So let's see, let's try to create the pipeline again. We want to manage it everything in the form of code, but let's try to create the template. Let's see whether it offers or not. Okay. I don't know why it is not working. Okay. Ansible-app. Again, I don't leave it. Okay. But for now, let's proceed. Let's create the template manually. I created a template. It can, okay. Now what I'm going to do is I will just say, mm, okay, stages. Okay. All right. Now add a stage and the name of the stage is dev and trigger on the previous stage. No, for the dev, I don't care. Allow only on success of the previous stage. Yes. I don't think this is also needed. Job name is Ansible and type. It's a bash command, right? Command, custom command, just say bash. Okay. And init.sh. That's all. This is doesn't matter. Okay. Now default stage you can remove. Stage is QA. Again, this is what I don't like. Trigger automatically trigger on the successful completion of the previous stage. Okay. I don't want automatic triggers. Okay. Allow only on the previous stage. Okay. Job name. Ansible. And command is bash. Init.sh. Again, if you want to switch, if this init.sh is inside Ansible subdirectory, you can also mention the path. Okay. So the other stage is also completed. Oh, where is that? Add one more stage. This time the stage name is QA. Job name is Ansible. So guys, this is what I always keep on saying. Doing things the right way always takes time. Okay. But that's fine. Even if it takes time, I don't care. This is what I want. Okay. Auto completion I don't want. Job name is Ansible. Bash init.sh. This is for the QA, right? Why it's not showing? Maybe it is taking time to pick up. Okay. Maybe it is taking time in the back end. Okay. Stage is prod. Job name is Ansible. Bash init.sh. I don't know why why every time I need to do 2 times. Why are you giving me this punishment? That's all. Perfect. Okay. We have all the 4 stages. Now what I want is, okay, now, okay, any questions? So we did the same for 4 things. Okay. Now we have, if you want to add any variables or anything, so select this. It has for each and every job, you can also configure the environment variables. So here, I just want to supply the plain text variables. env is equal to dev. Okay. env is equal to dev. Save environment variables. This is a problem of doing on UI. Okay. I hate doing saving it. Okay. Save it. Stage. Okay. That's all. Now we have created the templates on the UI. Next is extraction as per the documentation. Okay. Now how can I say use this template? Okay. That is another thing. So what is the name of the template? What's Ansible app deployment, right? So how to use the template? YAML pipe, YAML plugin. Now instead of all these stages, okay, we'll just use it. Okay. But in our case, we are also using this variable, right? What other variables am I using? This one is also we are using, right? So let's try to use this as well. Okay. It's okay. env is done. MySQL secure variable. Let's try to use this as well. Environment variables, secure variables. Right. This one. MySQL.
Sir, in stage also we are not at the environment variable as well, sir.
We'll do that. We added, right? Oh, here env is missing. Okay, all right. Thank you. Okay, why, where these are? Okay. We are not adding a pipeline. We are doing it task level. All right. Okay, all right. Now, okay, perfect. Now we have everything ready. Now we can simply eliminate this. Okay. Let's try to start with this. I'll eliminate everything. Instead, I'll just use a template. Okay. So how can I use the template? Uh, Pipeline templates. So how can I use templates? So stages, a list or a template can be hashed like this, but how? Okay, this is how we can use. Okay, just below the materials. And what is the name of our template? Ansible app deployment template. No, what is it? Yeah, Ansible app deployment template. That's all. Publish the code. That's all. Now come and try to run the MySQL. I'm excited. Again, I still acknowledge we created a template from UI, but I don't know why it's not working. But for now, I want to fulfill the NFR. Okay, so secret management I already successfully enforced. Now let's try to do the same for others as well. Fingers crossed. Perfect. It's working. Seamless. Awesome, guys. Perfect. Okay, and this is what I was saying, guys. Okay, when I press the env, environment variables are coming. Can you see this? SSH PSW. Okay, earlier these are just environment variables it is showing, but for now, even for Ansible, these are secrets, and that's the reason it's not showing anywhere. This is the point I would like to make. And MySQL PSW. So that means nowhere you can see the secrets. Okay, that is the point I'm trying to make. Okay, all right. Likewise, I also just want to do the same for these guys as well. Okay, for backend and all these things. I'm just eliminating the entire code. Okay, so maybe what I do is, okay, I'll just commit the entire code so that you can use it for reference. Okay, because when you're practicing, if you want to use it for reference, you can. Okay. Everywhere I'll remove, just for this I'll keep it. Okay, only for one I'll keep it. All right. And if you look at this, earlier the number of lines of code is 85. Now it's just 18. 85, 85, 85. It's about 255. And 255 is being boiled down to 53, 56. That's all. That's a beauty, by the way. Okay. All right. Can you see this? MySQL -dev, it's working fine. MySQL-dev, it's working fine. Perfect. Now, likewise, I also want to see whether my backend is also working or not. Let's wait. Any questions so far? And we have achieved all the 3 NFRs. Okay. So quality gaps. And second thing, go CD job pipeline template was created on UI. Okay. And this has to be done code only. Okay. These are the quality gaps which needs to be addressed. Okay. Any questions so far? Anyone? Now, as per the NFR, code is dry, secrets are not hard-coded, rerun of the code should not fail. Perfect, my NFR is satisfied. And I'm sticking to the standard operating procedure. Configuration management should be done by code Ansible only, yes, and deployment should be done by Go CD. Secret should be centrally managed. This I'm bypassing. Infrastructure creation and DNS record still manual. Okay, there is a next quality gap. There is a next operating procedure standard that I would like to stick. All right. Any questions so far, anyone? And if you look at this, my backend is also completed, seamless. Okay. And none of the places secrets are exposed. Next is front end. Are we clear so far? Anyone? Anyone? Any questions? Any concerns? Queries? Okay. These are the things I would like to achieve and achieved. Any questions so far? Questions? Is it interesting? Mahendra, Shailaja, Vikram, Ambed, Girisha, Harish, Mrudula, Rachit, Ravi, Srideep, Srilata, Sumit, Tataji, Venu. Are we clear?
Yes, Manish.
Is this interesting?
Yeah, need to practice.
Yeah, but I mean, whatever we are speaking makes sense or not? Let's try to
Yeah,
get that one.
yeah,
Okay.
mhm.
Am I making sense, guys? Because we are spending a lot of time on doing some great things. I want to make sure we are quite clear on what we are doing and what we are talking. All right. That's it. That's for today. And yeah, once you're done with the practice again, still there is a quality gap. We are doing all these things quite masterfully, which I didn't like. Okay. I just want to handle them accordingly. Okay. So let me try to cancel all of them. And then if there are no questions, we're going to meet in tomorrow's session. That's it. That's for today. And we're going to meet tomorrow in the session. Thank you. Signing off for the day. Okay. Please practice them. We are going quite slow, by the way. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So please practice them in the interest of your pace. I'm just making sure we are aligned with what is being delivered. Okay. So please practice them and yeah, sure. All right. Thank you guys. See you. Bye.